Hey Bree, I'm going to record a couple examples for you to try to help you out quick. All right, so to factor this, remember you're going to multiply the a times c, and you're going to get 5 times -2 will give you -10, and then it adds to 3 in the middle. So we need to find two numbers that multiply to -10 and add to 3. It's going to be 5 and -2. So these are going to be our x numbers that make the middle term. So now we're going to make our brackets to factor. We got to remember when we multiply our first two terms together, we get a 5x squared. So in order for that to work out, you're going to have a 5x times an x. So when you multiply those two together, you get 5x squared. Now you got to figure out the inside. So these two multiplied together, when you FOIL, you do that times that, and that, and then that, and then that. So since you can't take 5 times anything to make -2, you're going to have to take 5 times 1 to make the 5x, +1. So that's going to make 5x. And then you're going to have to take the x times -2 to make -2x. That's going to add up to the 3x in the middle. And then on the end, it's going to multiply to -2. So you can FOIL this back together to make sure that you get what you started with. Then once you have your factors, you can set them equal to 0. And then you're going to solve. So inverse operations from there. I said Bree, didn't I? I meant Ellie. This is for Ellie. And then we're going to subtract 1. And those are going to be your two answers. So 2/5. And then -1. So that one is, really the tricky one when you have an x that's greater than 1. Okay. And this one's also a special case down here. So this is your A, your C, and so your B is actually 0. So multiplies to -9 and adds to 0. That's going to be 3 and -3. We don't have to be as careful since it's x squared. There's only one way to make x squared, x and x. So that's going to be x plus 3 and x minus 3. And then you'd be able to solve for each of those. And then notice on this one, there's no bx or no single x. So this one you solve with inverse operations. Almost. So you add 10 to start, then divide by 2. And you get 20. Then take the square root. And we would get this plus or minus our two answers in the square root of 20, which we could write as a decimal. Or if we break it down in our factor tree, we can see we have a pair of 2's. So we could do 2 plus or minus 2 square roots of 5. Or positive 2 square roots of 5 and -2 square roots of 5. All right, short and sweet there to do one of each example. And they'll send you a quadratic formula video.